looking at you right now, I want to call you a big giant piece of trash for not knowing my mother's name.
Okay.
I don't know your mother's name either.
Thank God.
I know your sister's name, though.
Oh, I bet you do.
And I know what the inside of her feels like.
Oh, my God. You know, I need a good retort to this. I have never given even an ounce of like a retort.
Just, my sister lives in Michigan.
I
So
know,
you just
She's
start
got a
dropping
kid.
hints that you visited Michigan. It's like, oh, man, just got off the red eye from Detroit. And man, is my raw. You know?
She's so far from Detroit. I'd have to drive way out there, huh?
You know how to rent a car, buddy.
We'll
I've
rent
showed
a
you how to do it many times.
Dude, do you think there's a co-host? Do you think one of the co-hosts here? Honestly, yes. I'm going to answer the question yes. But if like your sister showed any interest, who would pay money to fly to Michigan and get in a car for like 2 hours just to bang your sister?
Are you asking if anybody in the Danny Mullen regime would do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to afford the plane ride. This has
Exactly.
to be legitimate. Like, who would actually do that?
Desire and ability are two
Right.
very different things in this case.
So true. So true.
I know that regardless of what anybody in the crew says, everybody in the crew would fly to Michigan, rent a Fiat, and drive to fuck my sister. Now, the amount of people who could afford that,
Yeah.
that is a shockingly small percentage.
Right. Or even be able to rent the car to be able.
You guys are out.
Dude, yeah. Immediately, Dino and Austin can't rent the car. Too expensive.
Are you 25? Are you 20? You guys aren't
Nope.
25.
Nope.
Swoleby, don't think he has the funds.
He doesn't have
unless
the
he
funds.
robs the coffer of Jim H. Chang.
Exactly. Swoleby is your biggest that should be your biggest fear, because Swoleby can do some kind of trickery, get the money from Jimmy H. Chang, and then he would have the desire for sure.
Can we pull up, Austin, Danny Mullen picking up girls with funny faces? I just want to look at a group photo of everybody in the crew so we can go down the list about who would and who can afford to fuck my sister. We need to figure this out. I need to know who I can and can't trust.
That sentence was incredible. But we really got to go into depth with this, because right now Swoleby's looking kind of gnarly. Also, he would have his ID and be able to rent a car, because I feel like most of the crew doesn't even have their ID.
Group image right at the start, right around there. Okay, here we go. Let's go with the gentleman pictured on screen right now.
Okay.
It's Danny Mullen, King Croc, Dino, Swoleby, and Mudflap. Let's continue with Swoleby. Swoleby has the requisite age to rent a car.
Yep.
With the help of Jim H. Chang, he can finance the trip.
Yes.
Also, here's the thing with Swoleby. People count him out because of his stature, but you and I have witnessed
Many times.
with our own eyeballs him have sex with a civilian girl and a non-civilian.
And a non-civilian.
We watched him
Correct.
fuck a prostitute.
Yeah, we did. That was pretty wild. I'd like to go back and do that again.
You'd like to have sex with a prostitute?
No, and I don't know that I'd be able to get erect. I mean, you barely got erect when you had sex with your prostitute, right?
It was tough.
I don't
There's
think
not
I'd
much-
be able to do it, but Swoleby could. He did. He'd do it.
He had sex. He how would he put it, what he did to her?
He said he took her to Pound Town, something like that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, Swoleby, he wouldn't be like, oh, I cupped the back of the lady's neck and I kissed her tender as I made sweet love. That's not how Swolby's like, yeah, I was pushing pee. I beat up them cheeks.
Oh,
yeah, I made contact with the nut sack to the bottom of the taint.
No doubt, after he has sex with your sister, a mixtape is dropping of him he's rapping about having sex with your sister in the mixtape.
If he fucks and then raps about my sister, there will be a bomb that goes off in Jim H. Chang's place.
Dude, Jimmy would see it coming, but Swoleby might not. You know what I mean? But yeah, he is your biggest fear right now. Your number one, what do we call him? He is number one suspect?
Sure. As of right now, we're going to, it's like Clue. King Croc. Well, first of all, let's just go to Rat Dick. Rat Dick doesn't have an identification card. I think he may be in some sort of lingering trouble with the law.
Yeah.
No chance Delta or LAX lets him into their building, for that matter.
Unfortunately, no.
He's not getting in. He's not getting on the plane. His penis probably isn't even long enough to penetrate my dear sister.
No, his only chance would be to just walk there. If you think he has enough methamphetamine strength to just walk straight there, maybe.
If he goes to the sesh And if somebody there has a good hookup on crystal,
Yeah.
at a good price too, because also you got to think about the amount of meth it takes to walk across the United States. Can Rat Dick afford it?
It's got to be $1,000, right?
$1,000.
$1,000.
I think methamphetamine is notoriously cheap.
Okay.
I think it's on the cheaper side of drugs. I'm going to say $500. Liquid assets will get you enough methamphetamine to walk to Detroit.
Damn. Then you got to put RDR right there next to Swoleby in a pretty close second place. Buddy.
There we are. I'm going to have to call you know what? I will call my sister at the end of this. I'm going to call my sister once it's gone down the list. Mudflap. The funding, and Mudflap, I mean, no disrespect, but I think he's going to have to borrow the plane ticket money from his father.
Okay.
He's going to have to do it. Or he's going to have
he's going to say no.
You know, maybe his dad, this is the conversation, because I had to work for stuff when my dad paid my bills when I was younger. So this is how the conversation's going to go. It's Mudflap's footsteps.
Okay.
Hey, Pops! Yes, Mudflap? I can go out to Detroit, Michigan. I think fuck me, Danny Mullen's sister. Can I borrow some funds, some bitch? Mudflap, you have to make me 3 macchiatos in the cafe this weekend, and then I'll pay for your ticket. Only 3, because his dad's he's got a soft spot. Yeah. And then Mudflap's like, okay. Mudflap probably just wakes up hungover.
Yeah.
Doesn't make the macchiatos, but his dad's still like, all right.
That's 100% accurate, except for Mudflap would do maybe he might incorporate a fucking his own sister joke to his father to get that redneck vibe still, keep that alive.
Uh-huh.
And then proceed.
Well, he'd have to walk back to his dad and be like, actually, the airport's saying I need 2 tickets. I need to buy 2 seats.
Oh my God.
So it's going to cost twice as much.
People in Southwest, bitch, don't they know who I am? I'm going to tweet something angry. They said I got to have 2 seats. Mudflap, I will say now, Mudflap doesn't drink anymore.
Right.
And he's losing a lot of weight.
He's losing a lot of weight.
I'm making fun of the ghost of Mudflap. Either way, I think he's on the list here. I think he's a potential sister.
I think he's absolutely. Do you think he, his sexual drive? I mean, he does have like titties on his phone, but it's questionable. I've never seen him point out a chick and be like, "Damn, dude, I'd really love to take her to," I've never heard it much. So sex drive I think that puts him at least. I think you have a tie for first, and then he's in second. Right now.
Absolutely. And he's the kind of guy he needs access to an AC unit, maybe a cold shower every couple hours just to make sure he doesn't get too sweaty.
True.
They don't have those on airplanes. All you got is the little, it feels like an asthmatic dwarf blowing on you. That's the only cooling you have on an airplane.
It's not enough.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
It's too hot for him. And for that reason, I'm going to cut Mudflap off. Yeah. Who else is here? Let it play, Austin.
Dino. Oh, okay.
You want to go to King Croc?
I'm talking. King. Oh, we got to talk about King Croc.
Yeah, pause.
King Croc, the Pussy Shadow. The Pussy Shadow briefly reappeared on the Leo and Friends Patreon podcast, which is linked down below.
Check it out.
He was on for a couple of episodes. In one of those episodes, I believe, he gave you an honest update of what his life looked like since he'd fallen into homelessness.
True. It was pretty unbelievable. It's called Shelter Chronicles on the Leo and Friends show. Check it out if you have some time. It's pretty crazy what he's going through, but in many ways, he's also shocked at what the state is providing homeless people, which is pretty extensive and some quality stuff. So that's gives me some hope,
That there's got to be a lot of cognitive dissonance when a hardcore conservative like King Croc is living entirely, he's living only with the help of social services.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, it's like a week before he stepped foot in the shelter, he's going like, man, the reason that this country's going to shit is because they're taking too big of a chunk in taxes out of the working man's paycheck to pay for bombs.
There we go.
Food stamps, free housing. Man, if you can't crack it in this country, you don't have the right to this shit.
Yeah.
And then a week later,
Oh yeah, he addresses that pretty directly, and he's still based. He's thinks it's bullshit. You know?
Yeah, me and Croc agree. It's like those social services are what makes everything super expensive in California and LA. So it's like if you need it, you might as well take it because you're sort of paying for it anyways.
it's a good point.
Yeah, so that's what I was telling these guys about. Like, for example, the junior college system. It's also being paid for by the taxpayer. So why don't you guys take a free class or two? Chase some tail.
And for all
God
of you guys,
damn it.
for all you guys out there who are paying taxes, which I'm sure a lot of you are, a lot of our fans are good, hard workers. Well, the Biden administration, they want more taxes. They're trying to boost up tax rates for federal income tax, capital gain taxes. They're trying to double.
Yeah.
It's getting bad.
Double?
For people who make over $1 million a year,
That's still not even a lot of money, really.
doubling capital, making $1 million a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nowadays,
I mean, like that's a big hit on a lot of people.
Yeah, capital gains taxes. So what that means is and I know it's hard to intellectualize somebody who makes $1 million a year, but it's actually a lot of people. And what you're saying is that if this guy bought a house and held onto it for 20 years, him selling it, instead of them taking 20% of that, which I think is fair, 20% tax rate should probably be the flat tax for everybody, for everything. That I can wrap my head around. I got $100. I give 20 to the government for the police, for the fire department, for the roads.
I love that too.
For the
man.
military. I like 20%. But already in California, if you're a top earner, which a lot of you guys out there, I know right now that sounds crazy. You'll get there someday if you put your mind to it. It's already 35%, I believe, federally, 10% for California, and then every single thing you do in California is taxed additionally. Sales tax, an extra $1 in gasoline tax. It goes on and on and on. City taxes in Los Angeles. And now the capital gains, the one thing that was protected, you put your money away in an investment, you wait for longer than 1 year, and that investment is probably stimulating the economy too. You're putting money into Apple so they can employ more people. You're buying and leasing out an apartment so there's more housing for people out there. But now they want almost half of that shit also.
Well,
Fired up.
what are you going to do if it gets real bad, Danny boy?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's... We've talked about the get the fuck out of Dodge plan is for the Danny Mullen regime to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the high-speed rail they're trying to put in.
I mean, yeah, we can get from, unfortunately, I don't know who decided to do this, but it's going to be from Rancho Cucamonga, which is about 45 minutes from where me and Danny are right now. So we'd have to at least drive there. And then it would be about 2 hours and 10 minutes to Vegas from there, which would be pretty cool. I think it would cut time down. I think it might be faster than flying, just based on going through security and stuff like that and getting out of the airport if you check a bag, whatnot.
Is there a more Latino-sounding place than Rancho Cucamonga?
No, I mean, they named it, for I guess it was probably one of a native tribe, the Cucamongas.
Hey, fool. Hey, you're worried about the airport security when you fly to Vegas, but when you come out here to use the high-speed rail, you got to deal with the Rancho Cucamonga Mafia, dog.
Hey, dog, we're going to tax the shit out of that rail, dog.
Hey, fool. We're going to shake you down in the parking lot, dude. The Rancho Cucamonga Mafia. The Rancho Cucamonga.
Dude, Rancho Cucamonga. You know who would be like immediately would give us a hookup with the Rancho Cucamongas, dude? Inland Iggy.
Inland Iggy.
He's powerful out there.
Hey, dog. What up, Iggy?
Oh, they would love him for sure.
Oh, look who's on camera right now. We got Brando the kitty.
Making his appearance. He likes to steal the show from time to time. How are you, buddy?
He's got good performance
How are you?
instincts, though. He didn't come out too soon.
No, he doesn't.
He didn't shoot his wad. But he knew that there would be more attention on him if he showed up while you and I were doing the solo pod before the guests arrive.
Correct.
He came out at the perfect time for his little stardom.
Yeah, his little cameo on the pod. How are you, buddy? You want to say hi to the people out there?
Oh, he's so cute. You should rub him against the microphone. No,
Rub so people. Yeah, I feel you.
just he makes some noise.
He makes some noise.
So
He's very comfortable around Danny Mullen.
let's
Interesting.
I'm going to call my sister right now and see if she picks up.
Oh man,
This
well
is a-
keep
this-
going.
this is a
Well,
long-
King Croc obviously couldn't pay for it, but there's a lot of BBC people out there. They would probably crowdfund it.
Sure.
He would have that. Then it would be a problem. I mean, he traveled with us once, so he did fly on a plane somewhere with an ID and all that. So he could make it there. He would have to then trek from the airport to where your sister is, probably on foot because he can't rent a car.
I think he could afford the plane ticket with one of his scams. Everybody knows.
Yep.
In fact, on the Leo and Danny show one time, a credit collection agency called King Croc, and I spoke with the woman.
That's awesome, dude.
The reason that all these credit collection bureaus are after King Croc
Yeah.
is because he employed an actually somewhat genius credit card stacking system where I'm not sure exactly what he would do, but he would basically just get a credit card, max it out, abandon that credit card without paying a fucking cent, and then somehow talk another credit card company into giving him a credit card.
Wow.
I think it was more sophisticated than that. I think he was playing them against each other to get his credit rate higher. But, well, it didn't work out so well. He's now colossally in debt. But I think he's good for one more round trip ticket. It doesn't even need to be a round trip. It can be one way to Detroit. King Croc could hoof it up
Well,
there.
King Croc is the way he's looking at the shelter in a very positive light is it's just a way for him to save money. So he could be saving money and he could have a little nest egg now when, maybe he's having a few drinks. He feels, why not blow the whole load on this trip to have sex with Danny's sister?
Oh, man. I got about $250 in food stamps this week, man. But I'm thinking if I just take some Adderall and drink Red Bull, I could suppress my appetite. And I don't need the food stamps.
There it is.
And I could put that toward the airline tickets.
See, this is the kind of ideas he would tell to like Dino and Austin, and they would agree that it was a great idea. But if he had, the more often Croc told us these things, we'd have a little brother moment. Like, all right, Croc, listen up, buddy. This isn't going to work long term. You know what I mean? You're eventually going to get tired and crash out. You might even have a panic attack at some point because your body's going to get so fucked up and disoriented.
You know what it's like? It's like a kid in 4th grade who wants to do well on the math test, and he conceives of such a hyper complex workaround
Yeah.
that it ends up becoming more work than just studying. He's like, so here's the plan. We're going to go in at 4 p.m. after Miss Robinson has left the classroom, but before the janitor Art goes in there for cleaning, we're going to use mirrors so we can stay down below the window line and we can look around like a periscope and find the tests. Then we're going to go through them. You're getting to that level. You do it too, so don't get too. It's
true.
Don't laugh along. You're the guy who's like, okay, the trick for fucking getting pussy is if you want to get pussy, you got to go to community college, dude, and then you got to get on Adderall and you got to floss your teeth and you got to get a sugar mama to buy you gator skin boots, and then you got to get her to pay for your Postmates, and then you got to work out, and then you got to get famous on a YouTube channel and start doing fucking stand-up comedy, man, and then that's you, okay?
Yeah, that's true. That is a roundabout way to get some pussy, dude. That's
Or,
a lot. That's
or
a
go
lot
to
of
the
things.
beach and say hi.
I can only imagine the kid that's like at open mics, just like I'm still trying to get pussy, dude. Like, what is this? Why do I have to do this?
There's a
He's just
guy out there who's done every single thing you've said.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, he's
I hope there
probably in
is.
jail.
Dude, he could be in jail.
Yeah,
dude.
in a Canadian
Or
jail.
it seems like a lot of them are just getting. Some of them are just getting. You know what? They run into a girl they like, and they usually are in a relationship if they do the shit that I do. To be honest, That's what
Or
happens.
a young impressionable kid is in juvie because he's like, step 14 in the Dottavio method was to apply strong downward pressure on the back of a girl's head in a parking lot. That's step 14, dude.
That is not step 14.
That's step 14.
That is not step 14.
That-
what
yeah,
do I
it's-
follow that
that's-
with?
That's step 3. What am I saying? That's a lot of steps to just get a girl in your car in a parking lot.
The 20 steps are available on Leo's Patreon.
They are.